Ciao amici, siamo io e Dexter. Oh, don't know what happened then. I broke into Italian there for some obscure reason. Well, maybe not that obscure actually, as recently I've been in the company of some retro, made in Italy, Manfrotto tripod headgear. Ma perché? I mean, but why? I hear you ask. Well, sit back, relax, and I'll tell you.
What did I say?
During the meanwhilest.
During the meanwhilest. No, I don't
No.
like that.
A few years back, some of you will know, I bought myself an iFootage fast bowl tripod, principally for my landscape shooting, and with one eye firmly on making multi-shot panoramas, with, the bowl mechanism meaning it would be much easier to level the tripod base. The first and the most essential step, some say, in successful pano shooting. Now, to go with that bowl, I needed a head, obviously. A ball head, like my airhead from Three-Legged Thing, it's not really suitable, as articulation in all directions is not really needed, as the bowl takes care of most of that, and you don't want too much movement really. No, all you need is a simple tilting or even fixed but rotating head, and after looking for, seeing the cost of, and therefore quickly dismissing an Acrotech one, I settled on a similarly engineered and functional Andorra one. It's up there somewhere. I'll put a picture of it up now. But I always wanted something more substantial, really. And a few weeks back, I found something that I thought would fit the bill. An old Manfrotto Art 300 panoramic head, being sold with an Art 338 leveling base. And I pounced. Perhaps pounce is a stretch, but nonetheless, I bought them both for the extremely reasonable price of £70. Now, given that new, these retailed together for north of 400 quid, I felt, and I still feel, really happy with my purchase. The leveling base is not strictly needed in conjunction with, the bowl attachment on the tripod, but it'll come in handy, I guess, if I ever want to use, this setup on my Three-Legged Thing tripod with its more standard normal base, if you like. Anyway, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, or in this case the shooting. So let's get out and do precisely that. Shoot a panorama.
Oh, well, it's Muppet Nick here, editing the outdoor portion of that video. I must confess to a mistake. As I was walking up to the location for the photo, I filmed an introduction. Only I didn't. I thought I was filming an introduction. So when I thought I'd stop that bit and stop recording and put the camera on the floor, that's when I actually started recording. Anyway, what I was saying was that I was going up to the top of the field opposite where I live, which should become kind of like a regular test bed or test bench, if there can be such a thing, for some photographic equipment recently. And that I had my iFootage bowl tripod, or fast bowl tripod, with the Manfrotto head, not the leveling base though, don't need that with the bowl. And I was shooting with my Mica 50mm lens, which I haven't used in a long time. Anyway, normal panoramic protocols applied, i.e. a perfectly level base, and then all full manual settings on the camera. So manual exposure, manual focus, nothing in automatic mode at all to maintain constant, point of focus and exposure right across the whole panoramic image. I think that's pretty well all I spoke about. Oh yeah, I didn't put my nodal rail on. I haven't calculated the nodal point on that Mica lens, so I didn't bother taking that. And that's about all. So what I'll do now is hand you over to freezing cold on the mountainside me to talk you through the rest of what happened. Oh, right. Well, that's everything pretty well set up. Got my scene worked out. Got my start point. Got my end point. Everything's on manual focus, manual exposure, manual white balance. Focus to pretty well to infinity, just to the sort of the hills beyond. And I'm now going to use these data points here on the head to take equally spaced pictures. So if we start, I'm on 60 there then, okay, so let's hit that 2-second timer, first image, there we are, and now I'm going to move it about 10 degrees every time. Well, that's all the images shot. I would normally do it again, but it's freezing cold, so I'm not going to do it again. What I'll do now is lock this all back up. Put it back to 0 degrees there, so it's all locked up nicely. What I will say though is that during use, that was very, very, very silky smooth operation of that head. No jolting or jarring at all. Really, really smooth. And when I swept through the scene, there was no deviation in level. The camera remained level. Well, according to its level, right throughout the whole shoot. So when we get these back home now and onto the computer, we should have an easily stitchable panorama image. Right, let's get back out of this weather. Oh, before we do, it's a lovely picture of a bird we shot on the way up. Not shot, but photographed on the way up. There we are. Right then, have a look at that.
Well, right, here we are, back after our trip out with my new Manfrotto head, and I have to say I am absolutely chuffed to bits with it. It's a superbly well engineered piece of heftiness, and it remained rock solid throughout the whole panoramic shoot, and it's all you can ask of a tripod head really, but especially so when shooting panos, and this head was exemplary in that regard. It remained perfectly level throughout the whole rotation, not even deviating by a millimetre. Had I taken my nodal rail and I think worked out the mica's nodal point, then I think the whole scene would have been perfect with none of those, annoying blank white spaces to crop out, or, these days use AI to fill in. Also in use, it was silky smooth. It honestly feels like it's rotating on an oiled bearing, and maybe it is. I don't know. And the clear data points marking out rotational degrees, making sure you shoot equally spaced and overlapping images, an absolute doddle. All in all then, I am more than happy with my investment. Whether I keep the leveling base, I don't know. I could keep it in my bag as is, as I said, for backup, just in case I'm out with my 3-legged thing tripod and, feel the ears to shoot a pano. Either that, or it could be really useful to use in the event someone tries to rob me. Hit them with this, they're not getting back up. Okay then, that is it for this week's Tech Tuesday. We will be back on Saturday, where I shall be trying my hand at something I've never done properly before. It doesn't even involve, a trapeze. But it is, it's wishful thinking, it is some product style photography. And then a week today, I'll be taking a look at my new Nikkor lens, the mighty 17 to 35mm f2.8 wide-angle zoom. And in the meantime, just be nice to each other, okay? Ciao. I mean, bye. That is ciao, isn't it? Yeah, just ciao. Okay. Ta-ra.